Welcome to part 1 of the video tutorial on how to set up Gtest on Visual Studio 2010 for C++. I'm going to show you my outline. We need to do 4 steps. We need to download the framework, we need to compile it, we need to configure our project, and we need to run a sample. Close this. Let's go to step number 1. Just download the framework, and I'm gonna save it on the root C. You can use whatever path you want. It's doesn't matter. And here I'm going to decompress the file, and I'm gonna look for a directory named msvc, and I'm gonna click it. And here, as you can see, we have 2 solutions. One named Gtest, and the other one named Gtest-MD. And the difference, the one that you're going to pick, it's important. If your project it's configured to use a runtime library for DLL, you have to choose this guy here. And if you're using a non-DLL runtime library, you will use this guy here. Let me show you very quickly what I'm talking about. This is just a sample project. In code generation, we have an option called runtime library, and we have multi-threaded DLL and multi-threaded debug DLL for debug mode, as you can see. If you want to use, let me go back to the directory, and if you are compiling this, if you're opening this solution, make sure that your project has a runtime library DLL option, multi-threaded DLL option. I'm gonna be using this guy here, so the one named Gtest. So I'm going to choose the ones without the DLL at the end, multi-threaded debug, because I'm in the debug mode right now. I'm gonna click apply. I'm going to the release part, and I'm gonna choose multi-threaded. Again, if I'm using DLL, if I want to use Gtest -MD, use these guys here. I'm using this guy here. I'm gonna click OK. Now let's go back to our directory, and I'm going to compile. I'm going to open this Windows here. It's, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, a solution conversion from 2005 or 2008 to a 2010. So I'm just gonna click it, finish it, and let's wait a little bit. Great. Now here, I'm in debug mode, so I'm going to compile the projects. The projects, I'm going to compile it in debug mode, and that will bring a object libraries specifically for debug mode. Once I'm finished with that, I'm going to compile it for the release mode, and that will bring me object libraries for release mode as well. So I'm just going to build solution. It's going to take about 5 seconds to a minute. So I'm going to pause the video, and we'll come back later once this is done. Thank you. Okay, it's already compiled, the debug mode. Now I'm going to switch here for the release mode, and I'm going to compile it again. Let me click here, Again, it's going to take about 45 seconds. So I'm going to pause the video until this process finishes. Right? Thank you. Okay, we are back. It took about 15 seconds, so it wasn't that slow. And let's see the directory. And now here, as you can see, before I compiled the MD version. Now it's converted to Visual Studio 2010, and we have a directory, a new directory here named Gtest. So we want to click it, and here, as you can see, we have a debug and a release directory, and we have the object libraries here, Gtest D and Gtest main D. As you see, the D at the end for I'm assuming debug mode. And the release version, we have the two object libraries without the D. I'm assuming meaning non-debug or release version. Now let's go to step 2, which is I'm sorry, step 3, which is to configure our project. Here I haven't configured anything, so I'm going to show you what you have to do in your project. The only thing that I configured was the runtime library. Since I'm not using DLL, I have multi-threaded debug option for my debug mode. Let me double check the release, and the multi-threaded for the release mode. So we are good on that. Now we have to include the header files in our project for Gtest. Let me go back here. Gtest. So you can see here in the same label where you saw MSVC, there is a directory here is name include. So we're gonna click it, and we're gonna use this path, and we are going to add it to our project. Right now I'm in release mode, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to use all configurations, so I only have to do one setup, and it will be set up for debug and release mode as well. So just click it here, click apply, and check here. You see that in release it's there, in debug it's over here, it's there. For debug and release mode, the include directory is the same. So we set up the include directory, the code generation, it's already done, and now we have to go to the linker, and that will be in the second part of this video. Thank you.